d'amore quanto è bello.
And that starts the week off.
Wow, does it ever. Welcome to another episode of Primetime Hustle. You are not watching the Pavarotti auditions to take over for him or any of the other great arios, sopranos. Sir, good day.
Well, after that horrible halftime show at the Super Bowl, I feel like I have a chance. I think America can watch me. They can at least make fun of me and crack a laugh.
And your grandfather's tie.
You know what I mean? Very nice, Chris. Very nice. This is my grandfather's tie. My grandfather was born in Portugal, and at 7 years old, he went to Brazil on a ship, and he took care of me, and he gave me this tie. So it's very sentimental, Chris. I'm going to give you a huggy after.
Well, this is a very strange way to start off Primetime Muscle. I'm Tim Wilkins, as always, joined by Tarek Elgindi and his grandfather's tie. And Chris Cormier, the real deal. Give us a look.
Dapper as ever. You know, I came in with the maroon.
I don't think it's maroon, Chris. I'm going to step this up a notch. I'm going to give you a better color for this one. So the first time, okay, you mentioned the halftime show, and a lot of people say, well, you're too old to enjoy Kendrick Lamar. There's terms and bands. Like when the first time Chris came in and said, yo, I need you to check out my drip. I thought, you're going to need to see a doctor about that, bro.
I'm dripping.
Little penicillin, you'll be all right. But now I know this is what drip is. And this is not maroon. This is Cabernet.
Cabernet.
This is
Cabernet.
I like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. You're
Cabernet.
really a wine connoisseur.
Oh, that is a
Cabernet.
gorgeous color, my friend.
Cabernet. Thank you. I like that.
Well, hey.
Cabernet. Appreciate
You're
it.
always bringing it, but the weeks you wear a suit, we always know you have something to do after, because you never dress like that for just us. It's
not just you guys.
the Louis jeans, the Louis hat.
I have a big meeting after this. I have to run out as soon as possible. So let's get it going.
Let's do this. So, guys, there's a graphic on screen, and I'm not going to rat out who writes a lot of these topics, but Tarek, let's talk about this one.
It was me, guys. As you guys know, I have lots of friends and plenty of enemies. But I wanted to address Chris Aceto and Shawn Ray. First of all, I'm friends with both of them. I like both of them. I have a great relationship with both of them.
How's that going to be after this segment, Tarek?
But that's not going to stop me from criticizing both of them. First and foremost, you gotta respect both of them. Shawn Ray is one of the greatest bodybuilders of all times. He's a historian of bodybuilder. I mean, I bring him to the Olympia Lives, and his input is unmatched. He's a great mind, and he was a legend.
When he shows up.
What do you mean? Anyways, that's a good one, Chris. Chris Aceto has coached many great stars. He has gotten people to win the Mr. Olympia. He's also a legend in the sport in terms of coaching. You put him with Milos, with Hani, with Chad Nichols, New Hill. He's one of the best, and he's very respected. In a live that I did with Derek Lunsford and Bob Ciccarello, no, it wasn't on the live. I'm trying to take credit. In the Voice of Bodybuilding with Bob and Shawn, Shawn Ray said, I don't know why Derek needs a coach, one of those girls. I mean, he's a Mr. Olympia. He's already done, everything in the sport. He knows what to do. He won already. I don't know why he needs a girl, whoever that is, Aceto, Hani, Chad Nichols. And Shawn Ray is very assertive about, hey, Dorian Yates, guy that beat me every single time, didn't have one of those gurus. I placed second at the Olympia. I never had one of those girls. I don't understand the fascination for all these girls. Chris Aceto took it personal. He said, this guy is impacting my livelihood because that's how I make money. Why is he being so negative? Why can't he go somewhere else instead of attacking me?
You, if there was ever a golden button, have got to be one of the greatest button pushers, by far the greatest one on this show ever. But I'm going to jump in on this one. So we talked about this, and I said this to cameras for Nick Walker. I said, Nick, you don't need a guru. You don't need maybe a coach. You know what to do, and you know what has gotten you to those wins in the past and gotten you there. I would go with that with Derek. Samson Dauda, our current Mr. Olympia, is being coached by his lovely wife. You don't need a guru. You don't. And you don't need to guru shop. There have been some amazing guys, George Farah, like you said, Neil Hill. But at this level, when you get to that level, what's left? What magic formula don't you know?
I don't think it's like a magic formula out there. I think there's some people who have an eye for it. There's some people who have talents, with the posing, with, pushing you through workouts that's going to get you to a higher level of shape, size, density, something like this. I didn't know where Shawn was getting at with the whole thing. Personally, I do make my living working with people, but I know that after my career was over in bodybuilding, I went back to understand what I did wrong, what I didn't do enough of, it. What was it with the training? What was it with the, the diet factors? What was it with the posing? I mean, just everything. So from top to bottom, coming off of a career, Shawn had a great career. Bob, not so much, but he started to talk a lot. So he did his thing with the voice of bodybuilding. Great. We all have our niches and where we went after our career was over. So I know that I didn't do a lot of things to the best of my ability. I don't know, it's timing of your mindset. It's the timing of being truthful with yourself. Did Shawn have the physique that he probably could have had if he had someone behind him? We don't know. Was his back ever wide enough? We know not. So Shawn probably could have got some outside help that helped, because once people found out that Shawn didn't have the back that he should have when it came next to Dorian and, some other people, Lee Labrada, stuff like this, Lee Haney, then that's the thing, So what was he getting at with the guru talk?
Well, you bring up a good point. We've seen both sides succeed, right? Dorian Yates never had a guru, but he did have a training partner. Can you go ahead and do the British thing?
Educate them! Come on, Dorian! Educate them! Show them!
So he did have a training partner, Dorian Yates. Shawn Ray, I think, was very independent, but they both had tremendous successful careers. You look at Ronnie Coleman, he said backstage, and we have that on camera, Chad did his thing. Chad did his thing, meaning Chad really helped him out. Michael Jordan, when he came back from baseball, he lost the series to the Orlando Magic. And the next day he called his trainer and he goes, I need to see you. Let's get back in the best shape of our lives. I see both points. Sometimes you have acquired all the knowledge and you might not need somebody else input. And Dorian H., Shawn Ray, they proved that. They proved that you can be successful in that regard. But I also see Chris's point, right? I mean, look at it. Let's talk about bodybuilding. You're coming in the final days of your prep. You're dehydrated. You have no carbs in your system. You're second guessing yourself. You're not looking at your physique the way you should. And then you have somebody like Milos, right? Who's done it 1,000 times telling you, you know what? We need to give you a little bit more carbs. Let's cut the water. Let's do this. Well, but I think, don't worry. I've done this 1,000,000 times. I'm here to guide you in that direction. So I do see that there might be an importance. The problem here at hand is that Chris took it personal. He goes, now this guy is impacting how I make my living. Why is he attacking me? And I gotta be honest. I don't think Shawn was directly attacking Chris. I think Chris took it personal, but he shouldn't have.
But he's working with Derek. He's working with Derek on his diet.
No, I know, but I think Shawn has been critical of gurus his whole life. It's not only Chris Aceto. It's everybody. So much that Chad Nichols had a problem with him as well.
Sorry, brother.
No.
But yes.
I'm laughing for about something. I'll get there.
But the thing is, though, with Derek, for instance, he won the Olympia. We get all that. Within the first meeting, I went to Derek's camp. Been going there 3 times over out there to Tampa. In the first meeting, I was able to get him to connect with his ab and thigh. That was horrific, to say the least, even when he won the Olympia. So that's when I was like, what are you talking about? He don't know everything. He's only worked with a handful of people so far. He don't know everything that it would take to win the title again. They have a guy named Samson Dauda that looks like a truck. I mean, you got to do something more than what you did before in order to beat this guy.
Well, so to your point, now we mentioned this off air. We were talking about some different stuff, but perception is reality. And a lot of people perceive what Shawn says sometimes as trash talk. But the reality, I know Shawn's intention behind a lot of things he said, because I'll pick up the phone, he'll pick up the phone and call me. He's trying to save lives sometimes when he says certain things. Like he's trying to guide people in a direction, say you don't need a guru because that guru might be pointing you in a bad and harmful direction. He's trying to get longevity into the sport. Now, why I was laughing, Chris, is here's where we are in our lives, and we have to remember, guys, we lose track of the fact that we're not 19 anymore. 20, 25, and 30. When you're a kid, sometimes you're thinking, oh, my dad's going to come over and kick your ass for saying that. And then you get to the point where you're 2 30-year-old bodybuilders go, I see him backstage, I'm going to punch him in the face. Now we're at the age we're saying, there he is right there, son. Go over and kick his ass. We're sending our kids after the people we're pissed off about. That's pitiful. When you're so old, you got to send your kid to fight your battles. It's time to not have battles anymore.
That was quite entertaining. I do embrace the fact that Shawn Ray has the right to have an opinion. Shawn Ray can go right now in the Voice of Bodybuilding and criticize me. As much as we are friends, he has that right. He can criticize me. He can criticize all of us. He has that right, and I want him to continue to have that right because he's one of the most intelligent people we have in the sport. Let me tell you one thing about Shawn Ray. It was right after Shawn Rhoden won his title, Shawn Rhoden went on stage at the San Diego Expo, and Shawn Rhoden said, I want to gain 10 pounds. I want to be bigger. And I talked to Shawn Ray. He was distressed outside of the San Diego Expo. He goes, Tarek, I completely disagree. He just won the Olympia. Why does he need 10 more pounds? That's going to put a burden on his health. I don't think. And obviously, a lot of people criticized him. A lot of people said, oh, Shawn Ray, you're just being a hater. You're just being... Turned out that Shawn Ray was the first guy to show concern about Shawn Rhoden's health before it all happened, right? And Shawn Rhoden was a personal friend of mine. So a lot of people criticize Shawn, but sometimes his intentions are truly the best. And in this case here, we're not talking about somebody's health. He's just expressing his opinion that he thinks that some of these top guys don't need a guru. Now, I agree with Chris. I think some of these guys could have the help, and he could be helpful, and maybe even Shawn himself would have been a better bodybuilder if he had somebody helping him.
Well, we're covering it because it's the best of bodybuilding news, but it's just internet wars, and sometimes it's good hype. It's always fun, and we like all these guys.
Well, that's the thing is we've all grown up with each other. I mean, I known Shawn since I was 16. I knew Chris since I was 21, 22 years old.
And he was competing.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. We all been in this thing for a long time with each other, and I feel like we're gonna have these situations come up again and again.
Every once in a while, the cousins got to fight at the family barbecue. All right, we'll keep you guys posted if anything exciting happens. But those are 2 guys with great legacies in sport. When we come back, we're going to be talking about a guy who has determined that the next part of his career is all about legacy. We're going to be talking about Aaron Banks when we come back. And we're back, and we are talking men's physique. A former Mr. Olympia, and a guy who, in the last couple of years, has really been determined. I was going to say bent, but determined to grow the sport and get out there and have guys compete more. The top guys compete more to make shows better.
I love Aaron Banks. I think he's a crazy wild dog. He is non-apologetic about who he is off the stage and on stage. His priority is to make money for his children. And you can't blame a man for doing that. He's outspoken. He's going to let you know, hey, listen, I'm 3 times better than this guy. I'm going to crash him and I'm going to destroy him. And a lot of times he does it. This guy has won the greatest titles in men's physique. He obviously he lost to Ryan Terry and lost again to Ryan Terry and now Ali Bilal. And I almost felt like he was a little bit quiet, right? He kind of, we didn't hear a lot about Aaron Banks. And right now he's back on the savage mode. Like, I don't care what you think of me. I'm going to say this and I'm going to deliver on stage. He is a crazy wild dog. And I think some guys, they need to be outspoken to be at their best, right? Nick Walker said it. He goes like, hey, listen, I think Samson Dauda's back is flat as hell. It's okay. Nobody's blaming you. Maybe that fed you into becoming a better bodybuilder. I'm a huge fan of Aaron Banks. I love how crazy of a dog you are. Keep going, because the truth, brother, is that you deliver on stage.
Well, he said he's in his legacy years, Chris.
Well, I mean, Aaron Banks, the man will come in with a cowboy hat and a scooter to the doggone press conference, to the doggone check-ins in a scooter, and he will ride his ass right up in front of your face and be like, I'm from Fresno, I'm here. I wasn't born with the best genetics like some of these guys, but I made my body from the ground up, and I'm here to tell you I am the best in the world. That's what you get out of Aaron.
Guys, especially Tarek. Tarek, now, I'm one of many. And I just saw one of my favorite guys doing a check-in picture a few weeks ago for the Arnold Classic.
Who's your favorite guy?
One of my favorite guys, Jogo Montenegro.
Okay.
And I'm going to say,
is he as favorite as Ryan Terry, or he's your second favorite?
He's up there.
He's up there.
But the check-in picture was starting to morph more classic physique. And I know judges, you said your judges meeting with December in Texas.
No, our judges meeting is always in Pittsburgh.
Talking about, you guys have got to dial back the men's physique so that it doesn't, the caps, and just try to keep you. They put a weight and a height class in last year for the pros.
Did that help?
Did it help?
Hinder?
Of course it did. Ryan Terry is very streamlined, and he won the title. The last guy that won the Olympia, he has a very streamlined, beautiful physique. Now, I love Tim. He's one of my favorite guys in the whole world. My wife and I, we love Tim. We're not going to have men's physique looking like Tim Wilkins. Tim is a little bit frail. Like he said this morning. Flacco. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Tim has a beautiful physique, 10 times better than you and I. Look at that pose. But Tim would need just a little bit more chest, a little bit broader shoulders. He's got the conditioning down, but man, we need a little bit more chest. You want to win the Olympia, you need more chest. You want to be Mr. Ocala, you look like this.
Well, what I'm asking is about Aaron Banks. If they dial that back and start putting some caps in even more, that's the ideal physique they envisioned for the division.
And that's why guys like Brandon Hendrickson now are in trouble. Because Brandon was a little bit bigger, right? He's developed. So now Brandon, I give you credit on that, Timothy. Brandon needs to dial down. Now, it has benefited who? Ali Bilal, Ryan Terry. Now, Ali Bilal has to be careful because he's short. And he packs a lot of muscle. He's going to look a little bit dense. And then he's going to fall into the Brandon Hendrickson category. I'm going to agree with you that Diogo Montenegro can surprise a lot of people because he already won the Arnold Classic and he is the epitome of that lean, mean physique. He can go against Ryan Terry and break your heart.
Well, Aaron Baker's been a lot louder now. He said he was a little quiet for a minute, but now him and Ali Bilal has been going at it a little bit back and forth on the social media platforms, and
Ali
Aaron is,
Bilal and Aaron Banks.
yeah. So Aaron is saying that it's not just a conditioning contest. You got to have the body along with it, and that's what he thinks he possessed over Ali Bilal. Ali Bilal is coming there so he contacted me. I know he's working with George Farah, but he said, "Hey, can you help me improve my physique? Can we, do some work together?" So he's been, talking back and forth, from Qatar, and so the time difference is like 12 hours, so it's hit or miss. But
how about we do an Olympia battle with Ali Bilal, Aaron Banks, and Ryan Terry in Afghanistan? That's where Ali Bilal is from.
Yeah.
We can do it in Kabul, right?
But he lives in Qatar.
Right. He lives in Qatar, but he is from Afghanistan. I've judged him in India, and all the Afghani fans were writing on my page. We do it in Kabul, right there at the airport, where we had great success. Talk about a great battle. Hey, I love it, guys. I love how the men's physique guys are aggressive against each other. They want to compete against each other. Ali Bilal is looking at Aaron Banks and saying, "You're just a skinny boy from Fresno." And Aaron Banks is saying, "You're just a stompy little guy from whatever you come from." And then Ryan Terry is like, "I'm the British colonizer. I'm going to take you both down." I love that. Keep the war going.
Well, let's roll this. Let's take a look
Colonizer.
at the aspects of. We've gone from communists to colonizers.
So
Okay.
yeah, so much improved back. He's even improving his physique even more.
He does have high lat attachments.
Yes, but he like I say, the middle of his back is super prominent. I would give a little bit of work in that the teres major, teres minor area, rhomboid area, to balance out the physique from the back, and that's one thing that I would say for him.
Now, Tarek,
I think from the back, Aaron Banks is lights out. Hard to beat this man from the back. From the front, he has very prominent shoulders, right? Look at those shoulders. Those are real capped, big balls. And that sometimes overpowers a little bit of the upper chest. Do you guys see that?
Yeah,
I do. But by today's pro men's physique standards, they're not overbearing to an extent. Some of them are just cannonball delts.
And that makes you have huge shoulders. That's going to make your chest look small. And in men's physique, you cannot afford to have that discrepancy. So my advice here to Aaron Banks, the king of Fresno, is hold off on the shoulder development and let's get that upper chest a little bit thicker. He trains with Cuts, right? Ariel Cuts, who's a great coach. And these guys are a formidable duo.
Guys,
he won the show in Dubai. Sorry, Kacho. He won the show in Dubai, like hands down. I think that was very telling for him to, regain that trust in himself and his coaching, his direction, his physique, and he was charging for that Olympia to get that title back, but he fell short, taking third.
I'm not going to take you up on your offer to MC that show. I've been to Bagram and Fresno, and I think if we want to hold it in England where Ryan is, I'll go there. But I'm not going back to Afghanistan, and I don't know if I'm going back to Fresno. I won't go over the I-5 and stop there. But Bakersfield, Fresno, I'm going straight north. I'm not stopping either one. Either way, Aaron Banks did a lot for the sport in the last couple of years. Was it Chris's show in Reno?
Chris Minnis, yeah.
In
Chris
Reno,
Minnis
the
show
legacy.
in Reno. The Legion Sports Festival in
came over
Reno, Nevada. Great show by Chris Minnis. And Aaron Banks had a sponsor that put a lot of money in the men's physique. And then Kyron Holden heard about it and said, "I'm going to steal that money." And he went in there and shocked the world. But Aaron looked incredible. I love Aaron Banks. And I want to give a shout out to Chris Minnis, Legion Sports Festival. That's one of the best shows in the entire world.
Man, Chris Minnis is a good friend of mine. I knew him when he was working at a hotel in Venice. He was general manager there. and that was before he did any of the stuff.
Do you have your whole schedule for May?
I want to go.
I'm going to ask you about this.
I got a message saying, "Are you available for this date?" And I said, "I'm available."
Yes.
What is it? The 31st?
No,
Yeah.
it's the 31st of May and 1st of June. So I'm emceeing the show.
Wow!
So Chris said, hey, let's try and get all three of you together for this thing. Let's get Chris up there. Let's get Tarek up.
Wonder Twin Powers.
Primetime muscle.
Activate.
Primetime muscle, activate!
All right.
Is it time for us to ask for a raise now that more people want us? Well, maybe this is the time for us
Got to
for a
renegotiate
raise.
the contract.
Gotta pay us! We got people that want us!
They want us to come.
Now, just be happy they're hiring us after they've seen this show. All right. We have one more segment left before we get hired away to host a show. We're going to be talking the top queens of bikini and what they have coming up when we come back on Primetime Muscle.
Hi, Jennifer Dorie. Jennifer, we need to know if you are doing the 2025 Mr. Olympia because we're going to hype you up. Are you doing the 2025 Mr. Olympia? It's confirmed. Thank you. It's confirmed. Thank you. Jennifer Dorie is doing the 2025 Mr. Olympia. It's confirmed.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. The little fire emojis. All right, guys, now that we know. So, we
Just
are talking,
like that.
we've had a lot of turnover at the top of...
And then she said, I never talked to that asshole.
We've had a lot of turnover at the top of bikini, at the top of pro bikini.
Turnover.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this is real.
Oh yeah, we're doing this.
Are you getting text messages saying, "Please don't tell the world"?
No, I didn't know I was calling myself asshole on camera.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, let's do this.
So we've had over the last few years, Jennifer Dorie, Maureen Blanquisco, Isa Piccini, Janet Liuga, and then last year, Lauralie Chapados. But to have Maureen, we did not have Maureen last year, did we?
We didn't. She had an ankle injury.
And we did not have
Jennifer Dorie. And look at them. Look at them. Look at that. Look at that. Look how beautiful, how athletic, how perfect these women are. Look at that. Man, we miss them. Those women are top athletes in the world. Maureen Blanquisco is incredible. She's won the Olympia. And Jennifer Dorie with the swag. Chris, do the Jennifer Dorie swag. Man, they're incredible. And we need to have them back at the Olympia because I think they're going to put the heat on Lauralie Chapados.
Well, you also had Amy Delgado last year, and you had, who else do we have?
Ashley Callwasser,
Callwasser,
who's won 78,000 shows. And she said, Tarek,
Looking for 50 more.
Only when I win the Olympia, you talk to me about retirement, but I think I still want to win about 50 more shows and 3 more Olympias. That woman is crazy. I love her. She's intense.
Well, now that you both schooled me, and so did Ashley, she's got at least 5 to 7 more years before she can be in the Masters Olympia. So she's got a lot of years left.
Actually, a lot of these girls, you know, Angelica Teixeira won the Olympia twice, and she was already in her 30s. In your 30s, a lot of times you're peaking in your career because you have the muscle maturity. So I think a lot of the top contenders are in their 30s. Sometimes you're in your 20s and then you don't have that little muscle maturity. You haven't been working out so long. But a lot of people think that this is a young man's sport Well, if you look at some of the guys that are winning, Samson Dowd is 38 years old. Ronnie Coleman won the Olympia in his 40s. So even in the female side of the sport, you got Franciele Matos, who's in her mid-30s. She's a mom with 2 kids. Even in your 30s, you're still peaking and being in top shape in your career.
Well, and to your point, Angelica Teixeira is finally retiring and to be a mom, and who knows what else venture she's got going on. But we've got a lot of people climbing those ranks in bikini trying to vie for that top spot. But you've still got 4 or 5 Miss Olympias coming back every year.
I'm telling you, the bikini, a lot of the young girls are coming. But if this woman by the name of Jennifer Dorie shows up at the 2025 Mr. Olympia, she's going to be lights out. You know why? Because Ashley has 3 Olympias and she wants 3. She wants to surpass Ashley. She wants to be the best ever. And Maureen Blanquisco, she's got that Filipino blood. Do not mess with her, okay? Do not mess with Maureen Blanquisco. She'll smack you down backstage and win the entire show.
With the pancet.
Well,
With the pancet.
We had 2 people on the show at the end of the year. We had Amy Delgado and we had it's escaping me. They were both in town for the Rising Phoenix, the Arizona Pro, and we had them both on the show, and they were top 5 and they're duking it out.
Well, we had Lauralie Chapados.
Oh no, we had one other one. So it was just Amy and Lauralie.
Lauralie. And then they brought in.
Can't believe he forgot about Lauralie.
I'm 1,000 years old.
Chris, Kawasser was here for the Olympia battle.
Yeah, for the battle.
Amy Lynn Delgado was here, and Lauralie Chapados was here. What I'm surprised is that Tim Wilkins forgot that Lauralie Chapados was sitting right here.
It was somebody else. No, I didn't forget about that. No, I'm repressing that memory for a lot of reasons, and one of them is because we trained together. And you always say, people don't underestimate how hard Lauralie trains. And I will tell you this.
She's a beast,
my
man.
own embarrassment. All right. I am arguably last year the number 2 Masters physique over 50 and 55. Good times. Masters Nationals.
Runner up.
Masters Nationals.
Runner up to the championship.
But we're not known in men's physique for our lower bodies.
Even though you have huge legs, though, Tim.
You're a love. Apparently not. So this was Lauralie, who is an amazing, beautiful, stunning human being. That's all you're using? A couple times. Do you want to go up? Okay. I don't want to train with you. I don't want to train with you. That's your form? You just put the headphones back on.
That's how you really want to do it?
That's it. So I'm suppressing that memory a little bit.
Have you seen in the internet those girls doing the pelvic thrust? And they're putting like Ronnie Coleman weights.
Yeah.
I'm like, girls, what are you doing? It's
Why?
Like, those girls are. I don't know. I'm not a coach. I'm not a trainer.
No, it's not what you want to be doing. I'm not.
3 and 4 plates aside.
I'm impressed by the weight.
I'm not a fan of 5 plates on each side. Not a fan.
I did Olympia battle in Brazil with Franciele Matos, and I that was the athlete that Franciele.
Yeah.
She talks like a doll. She looks like a doll. You just love Franciele Matos, right? She's like so sweet. She went to work out and she was a complete animal. I was like, dude, this chick is insane at the gym. She's putting weights. You can see the veins popping out. She's intense. She's sweating. And she goes, I could not believe the intensity that woman was working out. I think she would murder the 3 of us at the gym.
I did a workout with a women's wellness pro and Kim Odo, who came out to Florida to train me and her. And I said, what are we working? He said, well, Bubba, you're working shoulders because you don't want to train legs with her. She's going to out-train you. And he was right. He was right. She out-trained the snot out of me lower body.
Really?
Hey,
Kim
man.
Odo made fun of you?
But
Bubba, we're gonna
Bubba,
we're going to do shoulders.
Bubba.
Guys, it's going to be an interesting Olympia, and it's going to be, as always, I've emceed a lot of shows where Ashley Kaltwasser shows up as the spoiler and takes people's qualifications, but it's going to be interesting to see how the qualifications start to line up as people get closer to the shows.
oh yeah, for sure. And a lot of those categories, they like Tarek said, they are some fierce competitors, and they do not want to lose at all.
It's going to be a war. If Jennifer Dorie and Maureen Blanquisco show up at the 2025 Mr. Olympia, They're going there because they want to annihilate Lauralie Chapados.
Well, we wonder what your opinion is on not just the internet wars between Shawn and Chris Aceto, Aaron Banks and his amazing legacy, and what you think is going to come about with having the top two couple of former Miss Olympia bikinis coming back in the form of Maureen Blanquisco and Jennifer Dorie to join Lauralie Chapados, Ashley Kaltwasser, Isa Pacini, all these Olympia
Amy
title
Lee,
holders. Delgado.
Delgado,
So,
throwing the deuces
Well,
up.
listen,
Throw the
here's the
deuces.
bottom line, okay? You want to compete against Lauralie Chapados, you're going to need to take some bioheat, right, Chris?
what else you got
That's
there?
right.
Now-
Let me see that one.
Here, I need to repair something, but
I need to repair something.
I need to repair my physique, and I think by summer I'm gonna have full potential.
Recovery.
And I'm gonna use my repair here. I do jiu-jitsu. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. For all of you haters that ever want to confront me, don't do it. I have repaired my jiu-jitsu. I'm back. And I want to thank Global Formulas.
Now, Chris and I were excited when we first saw this product. We thought it was a male enhancement formula. 'cause
Yeah, that's what
it's
I
called
thought.
Endure. I thought, well, wow, that's worth
Get
an
some
extra 3 hours.
endurance, bedroom time.
But actually, it's protein synthesis, muscular recovery, enhancement. It's everything we need, cellular rehydration, everything you need to be better, longer, stronger, faster. Endure. Global Formulas, we thank you as always for being our title sponsor of Primetime Muscle. We thank Jacob Frank and his team. As always, folks, like, subscribe, share this. We appreciate you being with us and making Primetime Muscle part of your bodybuilding
Like
journey.
and share.
Chris Cormier, the real deal.
In the house.
Tara Kilgiddy, I'll see you in May at Chris's show.
Come on now.
Tim Wilkins, we'll see you
Prime time in the house.
on the next Primetime Muscle.